From the makers of Blood Simple and Raising Arizona, a world where nothing is what it seems to be. Leo, is he still the boss?
Miller's Crossing is probably one of the best movies you never watched, and you have to see it. It came out kind of right on the heels of The Untouchables, so we all thought the gangster movie was already taken and it was done well and didn't need to be done again.
Right.
But then along came the filmmakers, Joel and Ethan Coen, and they put together a tale of the Irish mob coming head-to-head against the Italian mob during the Prohibition era. So...
Okay, in what city is this?
Oh, God.
Or does it matter?
You know what? It is Anytown, USA.
Right.
I'm sure the movie specifies. I should confess, I haven't watched it in a while, but it is absolutely excellent.
You would assume it's near the Canadian border.
Yeah,
Right.
it feels like maybe Chicago, maybe Buffalo.
Okay.
It's you're looking at Industrial City, USA.
Okay.
Is what it's got going on. In it you have Gabriel Byrne is the consigliere. Is that how you say that word?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
All right, just go on.
He's like the right-hand man to an Irish mob boss. And he receives an order to bump off a bookie. Now, this bookie, though, is the brother to his girlfriend. So you can see that he wouldn't want to go about killing the man. So he fakes the murder of a bookie who the Italian mob wanted killed. And hilarity ensues. The plot is, it thickens every step of the way as you go through the movie. You find the connection to Tom Regan is the character's name. You find the connection between the bookie he needs to kill and Tom Regan's girlfriend.
All right, so everyone's interconnected. It's like a regular mob family, right?
If you want to sell it short. Yeah.
What? Okay, great. I do actually.
Already.
I'm challenging you to prove this movie to me. But what makes it special?
Directors Joel Coen, Ethan Coen.
Okay.
And I know that's not fair, but
I do like everything that they do. I mean, I need to verify that.
yeah, I owe you the confession that I love everything they have made. Though I didn't watch Inside Llewyn Davis yet, every other movie they've made, I absolutely loved. And it maintains the dark comedy aspect and tells a brilliant, complicated story with excellent actors. Just everyone is on point with everything they do throughout the movie. Powerful performances, beautiful filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Judd, you've said this about Guillermo del Toro, where every frame of the movie could probably make a pretty badass computer wallpaper.
Okay.
But it's not a visual adventure though. It's not a special effects treat or anything. It's you're looking at mobsters during the Prohibition, right? So it's not all about a visual feast, but it is a visual feast.
Well, there is a certain element of costume design.
Oh, and it's
set design.
Costume, set design, it's everything about it is just a treat. The characters themselves are lovable but rotten, so it's absolutely wonderful.
I'm shocked I haven't watched it. I feel like I'm kind of a mobster movie buff, and it's just under my radar. I haven't seen it.
Right, same here. And I went a long time without having heard of this movie. I think I probably heard about it 15 years after it came out. But at that point in time, that was around the time. What was the other?
Boondock Saints. People were like, for
Right,
some reason, Miller's Crossing, it had this slight resurgence in popularity.
Yeah.
Around about 2005 or so. I'm not sure why.
Is that because of the Boondock Saints?
No, I want to say no because
Okay.
I didn't care for Boondock Saints.
That was how I heard about it.
Yeah, and
someone was watching Boondock Saints
Yeah.
or something like that, and at the same time when I heard about Miller's Crossing and Boondock Saints, it was fun the first time.
Does it have the same vibe as Boondock Saints? Is there
No.
any similarities at all?
God no,
It's
no.
just coincidence.
I think it falls into the bro category.
Okay.
Like, bro, have you seen Boondock Saints?
It's no Miller's Crossing, bro.
Yeah.
Boondock Saints was the first low budget movie a bunch of people saw that they actually liked, right? Like, you know what I mean? Any other low budget movie they had seen was like early Darren Aronofsky, and they didn't get it. They were like, oh, whatever. I don't like this. And then Boondock Saints, it's this low budget piece of shit action movie, right? With kind of quirky characters and kind of snappy dialogue, but it never fully closes any loop.
Yeah.
So, and I guess, you know, especially by 2005, Coen Brothers are not small time filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
They have dazzled audiences for years by this point. So I don't, you know, there may be a connection between Boondock Saints and Miller's Crossing, but it's not what I can see. I'll be honest. I'm trying to think of what came out.
Is Miller's Crossing more Untouchables or more Godfather, would you say?
It stands on its own.
Okay, so
it is a unique story because it talks about, it covers a conflict between two very much interconnected mob families who kind of operate on very shared territory. And
so
they have,
maybe like a Romeo and Juliet. Is there a love story here? You mentioned the girlfriend or whatever.
There is a romantic interest in the movie.
Is it cross family interest?
That's not the main point of the story, I guess.
It is.
It's worth talking about.
It's a plot point. So, God, I wonder if it's something that I should leave out. It borders on spoilers
you would call
to
it a
describe.
spoiler.
Yeah,
all right, okay.
There is a
That's
relationship.
fair enough.
It is important in the movie. It's, I guess you could say, romantic.
Mhm.
And it carries
It's two men.
far-flung
Is the
repercussions.
impression I'm
How
getting.
about that?
All right, gotcha.
So there's that.
I was as soon as you said Coen Brothers and mob movie, I was
You're like, damn it, I can't argue against this.
right. There's no sales point. I mean, like Coen Brothers, I haven't seen. I've seen like half their stuff from that list I saw.
Oh wow.
But,
yeah, Coen Brothers still for me have a lot of list of shame or
right.
wall of shame.
But I'll watch any mob movie. I love them
Hall
all.
of Shame. Yeah.
I don't understand what you mean. As in, there are movies of theirs.
Hall of Shame, like movies you should have seen already.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but well, yeah.
You know,
you
it's
should
like if somebody tells you I've never seen Jurassic Park.
You're like,
Yeah.
what?
You're like, have you never been a child?
Yeah, exactly.
Or Breaking Bad.
Or Breaking Bad.
Is there somebody in this room who hasn't
I
seen
haven't
Breaking
seen.
I think there
I've
is.
seen 5 minutes of it.
Go
so-
away
Yeah.
right
He
now.
saw 5 minutes and just decided not for me. Can't do
I
it.
felt like I had seen the show after I watched 5 minutes. That's what it felt like.
So maybe you're just as well not seeing Miller's Crossing then. You know. Well, I can't say this to you, but it's not fair to either of them to say it, but like the storytelling in Miller's Crossing, God, it's so cheap to compare it to Breaking Bad, but in the way that Breaking Bad never fell off and it continued to unfold the story as it progressed.
Right.
Miller's Crossing.
Well, it's only 2 hours or so.
Yeah,
so.
it's true. It's far easier. I'm not going to say easier. I don't know nothing about no filmmaking, but it manages without exploiting you to continuously develop the plot and characters and scenarios as it goes without letting up. However, it doesn't take some sort of breakneck pace. It's not some shoot 'em up action adventure that's just rushing you through everything.
Right. So there are action sequences though.
There are sequences of violence.
But these still have storytelling elements. They're still important to the overall arc of
Yes.
each character.
I believe there's actually, if I remember correctly, it's been a few years since I watched it.
Right.
There is a montage of violence in the movie.
Okay.
So if you've seen a trailer for
it was made in the 90s after all. So
Yeah.
You need a montage.
Yeah, exactly. You
point.
know, but it's, I would say, well executed. Now I don't even remember it correctly if there is a montage of violence, but there are sequences of violence, of graphic violence, but I wouldn't count them as action.
Would you say
sequences.
it's like Godfather style where
Yes.
he's getting baptized? And,
It is
Right.
cold-blooded murder. How about that?
Okay.
So not action. There are murder scenes.
What makes it stick out over any other mob movie? Like you said, it stands on its own. Like what's the stand on its own part? Just the style, or
One, because the movie gives us sophisticated Irish gangsters. And the mob stereotype throughout movies, the Irishmen you see in a mob movie are police. And I know that that's a cop-out to say, but it manages to be a mob movie without focusing on Sicilians or Italians.
right?
which and okay, the ethnicity of the mobsters is irrelevant and has nothing to do with what's going on, but it deals with, I would say, the breakdown of diplomacy between the Irish and Italian gangsters, and manages to weasel in some intermediaries between the two families. And I think that that's where you see your standout, and you see where things just go hilariously wrong. Also, the way I would also say, in classic Coen Brothers fashion, there are many points in this movie where you laugh when you're not supposed to be laughing, if that makes sense.
Well, that's the good thing about the Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
They keep it light.
Yes. And I would say in other mob movies, when violence is executed, you have a feeling of, yes, this needs to happen. Or, you know what I mean? It'll never drive you to go, an uneasy but genuine laugh about what's going on.
Yeah. Okay, so how would this fall? We've been sitting here talking about how great the Coen Brothers are, but if we look at their list of credits, how far down the list? If you were to tell somebody who's never seen a Coen Brothers movie,
which one would you go see?
Which one? How many Coen Brothers movies do you have to go through before you get to Miller's Crossing?
Okay.
Because I'm seeing some good movies here.
Yeah. So, at risk of controversy, I will say No Country for Old Men became my favorite Coen Brothers movie.
Okay.
Not everyone agrees with that. It is
That's understandable. I mean, it's not. It's a movie that I could understand somebody not liking. It's understandable.
I mean, it's just in its silence alone.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I believe there's no ambient score to that movie except on like 2 scenes.
Okay.
Like that's No Country for Old Men is incredible. Oh God, I loved Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and that's another one that you boycotted.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I don't like musicals necessarily, and I thought it was a musical. Apparently, it's not. I don't know. I still haven't watched it though.
Okay.
They sing because they're singers,
right?
But it's not a musical.
So this isn't fair, but I would put. Oh man. Okay. No Country for Old Men is definitely right now, because I'm talking right now, is going to be my number one. I loved Barton Fink.
Right.
It is unexpectedly excellent, and if you haven't seen that one, watch it now too.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's not my number 2. So, No Country for Old Men, The Big Lebowski, and Fargo, I would tie at number 2. Big Lebowski and Fargo are two of the greatest movies.
That's fair.
That I've ever enjoyed. Oh Brother Where Art Thou and Miller's Crossing, I would tie at number 3 for entirely different reasons. So, Oh Brother Where Art Thou it's kind of a tragic-ish comedy with somehow the music starring as a character in the movie without being a musical.
I can go along with that. Yeah. Okay.
But then, so I tied Oh Brother Where Art Thou and, the one I'm talking about, Miller's Crossing.
Yeah.
So I would say it's in my top 3-5.
Okay.
My top 5-3. It is an excellent movie.
It's a pretty good endorsement. All right.
God, what if I tried to rank them all?
But you say you have seen them all, though.
Except Inside Llewyn Davis. I have not watched that one.
Oh, right. Inside Llewyn Davis.
And Paris Je T'aime was a sequence of 4 short films, which I've never actually found watchable. But I haven't looked for it since before streaming services were a thing. So I could probably find that one now.
Okay.
Otherwise, though, it's up there.
Right. Well, what would you say to those people who might watch a trailer for this movie and say, well, that looks really dated? Does the movie hold up?
So here's the thing about this movie came out in 1990, and I would say if you watch a trailer for Miller's Crossing and you decide based on that trailer that you're not interested in the movie, find your favorite movie from that time, watch the trailer for it, and decide if you would watch that movie. Mm-hmm. Because my guess would be, based on that, no. God, no.
Right.
Trailers
are a much different thing now.
Yeah. I can't necessarily, like, trailers now are their own little individual entertainment package, which I think kind of sucks too. But trailers, God, 80s, 90s trailers were embarrassing. Like they're speaking to you as if you are recovering from a traumatic brain injury. No disrespect if you are currently recovering from a traumatic brain injury, but they are not fair to the audience. They spell out the world, the characters, and the plot in a manner like your 5-year-old walked in on you seeing the movie and wanted to know what it was about.
How about the movie itself, though? Is it dated? Does it hold up?
No. Oh God. So you asked two questions.
Well,
you asked two diametrically opposed questions.
Me and Bill are sold, but Alex is not sold.
The movie is not dated. It does hold up. There we go.
Okay.
So yes, no, or no, yes. It holds up. It holds up strikingly well. Because the beauty of it is it's a period piece.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like you have to worry about when you see a movie based in a modern time, then 10 years later, their hairstyles and clothes look funny. This is based during Prohibition, so it's A-okay. It looks great. It is, like I said, it is filmed in such a manner that just everything always looks beautiful. Like it's stunning to look at. And just awful, awful, brutal violence on occasion. It's not a movie about violence, but is a movie featuring violence as part of the way they live.
Do we know where this is available to watch?
Okay, so
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, that's one worth looking up. I know that you can pay to rent it on like Xbox Live and stuff. If you stop by my house, I think I still have the DVD. Please don't do that.
DVD. Who watches those anymore?
Yeah, DVDs like internets that you can put in your pocket.
No, it's not streaming, but you can find it.
Yeah.
All
It's you know what? If it costs you $3 to rent it, pay the $3 to rent it because it is excellent.
Okay. Well, to be honest, all you really had to say was Coen Brothers, to me anyway.
Coen Brothers usually sells me, but Coen Brothers Mobster movie, that's a good combination.
That's your wheelhouse right there.
You're like, what would they do with it? And they would do it.
Right.
That's my sell.
Okay. I can't think of a movie off the top of my head that combines Italian mafia and Irish mafia. I mean, the Gangs of New York probably did it. I don't remember.
Ooh.
But,
yeah, you know what? But not... God. So I love Gangs of New York.
Right.
But not the same thing. No. Because Gangs of New York is...
That's
a far different time period, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is before motor cars, Gangs of New York.
Yeah, it's like Peaky Blinders type time period, I think.
Yeah. No,
yeah, it looks like about that same time period. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So this one Tommy guns are a thing.
Yeah.
So this is more recent than that. It's
okay.
Yeah.
There was a TV series called Brothers Donnelly, which got canceled. It had 13 from House, I can't remember her name.
Olivia Wilde.
Mm-hmm. That was her first breakout show. That was an excellent series. Actually, I might sell you guys on that. That'll be my next sell. But it's the best. It's other than Firefly, I say it's the best movie ever canceled, or best TV show ever canceled. Like after one season, probably.
Okay, what was that called?
Brothers Donnelly.
The Brothers Donnelly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's excellent.
Interesting.
not as excellent as Miller's Crossing.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see about that.